Good morning. Welcome back to the weekly khud. Weekly in the khud. That's how you say it. I don't know. It is January 16, 2023, 9:58 a.m. and we've officially entered into the next week, which is why I wrote this little thing down just a few minutes back in vlog number 129, although this is vlog 128. Yesterday I should have recorded the session and edited and uploaded it, but it's okay as long as I am putting it out, because there's so much happening in life. It's very easy to be like, let's just not do it, but I'm gonna stick to the weekly thing because it's very important reflection and it's very important to me. Just bring it a little down. I have made like a summary of the last week and a few points that I want to go through instead of opening up these toggles, because I know as a matter of fact there isn't anything substantial in these toggles. Firstly, turning 24. Tuesday was my birthday, 10th of January. On Monday, so from Monday to Wednesday, I had taken a leave from the full-time job. Monday morning around 8 o'clock, we left for this place called Kerala Village, few minutes of distance from Shahpur Gurdwara. All in all, it was a very nice experience, like a mini vacation, especially with snowy, and it was a lot of fun. I came back from Shahpur, so on the national highway I drove for the very first time because we have a new car, it's automatic, and it was a lot easier, but yes, it was a very high alert kind of situation. You also always have to be on high alert when you're driving, especially when you're driving with the entire family on national highway or something. So that was one nice experience, and overall it was very peaceful, very nice. I'll try putting a few videos I have here as like a b-roll or something. 20. अंदर से पेट भी गिल्ला हो रहा है. Then Wednesday, as I said, was I had taken a leave, and that was important because it was like a nice cushion in between, because 2 days of mini vacation you tend to get tired. On Thursday I went to office on 12th, and this was a decision I took on 11th itself because there was some problem that the team was facing with the solutions and they had to discuss it. In actuality, we did not discuss any of it when we went to office because they had apparently already had the conversation. But one thing that did strike me when I did go on Thursday is, now that my life is poised with these two big things, one being the full-time job and one being dad's work, which are both in their own aspects two full-time jobs, it is very difficult for me to do this and have my 3D learning and content creating thing happening on the third wheel. I just don't get to that third part. So on Thursday, because it's not that I was only doing 3D modeling the whole day, which in fact I'll actually open that blend file and show it to you. I've been saving a lot of miniature artwork on Pinterest, and I just recreated one of those. It was a lot of fun. So here's this little thing that I made, and UV unwrapped it and everything, and it's rendering in cycles. What is up? Is there a texture missing? But yeah, I modeled this whole thing in Office by myself using just basic polygonal modeling, and yeah, it was a lot of fun to model. I've got to a point where I enjoy modeling a lot more now. Point that I was trying to make is, if I go to office once a week, even if it's twice a month, so I go for 2 weeks, 2 Thursdays, and I don't go for 2 Thursdays, it is kind of like a good break where I only have to worry about the full-time job. And on that day when I was modeling this the whole day, I had left early for office, and I did 2 small edits also for the full-time job. It's not that I was only doing this and like just having a good time. I also did 2 videos for the full-time job, which actually went through pretty easily. They were heavily edit based. Along with that, I could actually work on the 3D part. So I was thinking maybe I could start going to office once a week, or as I said, twice a month, which would like give me a break. And the founders especially, they want me to be in office, so it feels good. Like I also feel like I'm keeping my privileges in check, because it's just too privileged. I'm gonna work from home, I'm gonna do this, I feel really I can come off, or I am probably being ungrateful at times. So that is like a nice check post of sorts. Moving on to the next point, need for machine learning software. So this is something I've been heavily thinking about. Why are we not cooling? Heavily thinking about since the past week is that for my dad's work, I think I have mentioned this on this channel before, that I need to have a machine learning software that does the majority of the work for me. This I feel is imperative, because what I want to really do, like as far as passion, like this is my passion, 3D modeling, animation, content creation. In order to get to this, the full-time job is not something that can be automated like this, but dad's work is something that can be automated because it's specific data entry, but it is in a very clever or very sophisticated way. It's not that you have excels and you have to copy paste data from here to there. That's obviously not the case. You have to watch an entire show, understand the music that is, and using the human brain classify that music into what composer or what the details of that music piece is, and then make a data entry database on the Star Plus portal. I know exactly what the algorithm should do, but my extremely limited, the invisible knowledge, it's not there in me, of machine learning is kind of holding me back, and I don't really know where to start learning machine learning from. I went through a few courses on Udemy which could be great, but again it comes down to the point of where do I get the time to do those courses and then get to a point where okay, I can probably make a software. The reason I'm telling this here is I just want to put this out into the consciousness, out into the world, out of the universe, that I really need a machine learning software. And even if it takes a year or 2 years or 3 years for me to get there, only when dad's work is automated to that extent where there is a software which is trained and learned and is basically my brain in that software which can figure out what has to be done, and I just like in the end check whatever the software has done, only then will I have the liberty and the freedom to do all my 3D work. Because as life has gone by, as my career has advanced, I have come to this conclusion that having these two cushions or safety nets is very important. If I'm only left to do my passion, as I've been stating with my theory of constant parallels, I will be miserable. Cannot work out without music. So I don't know which day it was in the week. My Sony headphones, I do not know why. Earlier it used to happen that if you're not using them for like, I don't know, 10 or 15 minutes, it would just shut off automatically. But now if I forget to turn it off, which I know which day it is. Thursday evening when I was coming back, my phone's internet was not working, which is another issue I have to worry about. I have to change that to 5G, the SIM, to go to some center for that. And that is why I couldn't listen to music while coming back, which is pathetic. Like coming in train from Lower Parel to Andheri and not having to listen to music, it kills me. But because of that, I had just kept this in my bag and I did not switch it off. So next day on Friday, when I went to the gym to work out, this was out of battery and I don't have any other way to have music, and that's when I realized I cannot work out without music. Like that was a terrible 30-35 minutes where I was just trying to do something, I don't know what. So music is very important because I've been working out since I was like 8th or 9th standard. I've always been having music with me to work out. So the first big investment, I have to say first big investment, because as I said, these cushions of security give me a lot of leeway in that way. But the first big investment of 2023 I made, in fact today, I had made it yesterday, but I made it again today, and that's I'm getting a Kindle. I'm getting Kindle Paperweight 16 GB because I want to get back into the habit of reading. So 2020 is the last time I remember actively reading books, and that was a really good habit for me to be in. But last 3 years since I've gotten into working commercially with my own stuff, first freelancing, then the full-time job, and also managing dad's work, reading has just been pushed to the background to a great extent, and that's something I'm not a big fan of. I'm gonna get back in the habit of reading, and for that I'm getting Kindle. And yesterday I had ordered the 8 GB paperweight, which was like 12,000, but I thought it's better to order a 16 GB version, right? Just having more space doesn't harm, and it's just 1,000 rupees more. So just like half an hour back, I ordered the Kindle Paperweight 16 GB version, which should come today itself, because Prime, Mr. Bezos, is great at what he's doing. Now the next point is it cold in Mumbai. So it is kind of cold outside. You really feel it when early morning you take Snowy down for a walk. It is getting cold, which is amazing, right? We always wanted this, so now nothing to complain there. And then finally the point I wanted to cover is patience with not creating or uploading content. Apna time aayega. So I look at these Instagram creators or YouTube creators who showcase their first 4 months of using Blender, and they've made amazing things in modeling and everything. And I think about it, I've been fiddling with Blender for more than a year now. So 2021 November is when I actively started watching tutorials and trying to figure Blender out, and now I have gotten to the point that I am very comfortable inside Blender. I exactly know how things work. I am very comfortable navigating. I have very good basic understanding of polygonal modeling. I understand geometry nodes, shading, UV editing, sculpting. I understand stuff. So all the major aspects of Blender I have covered, at least to the point of you can consider me an intermediate in all of them. But I do not have a lot of content to show. Like that the other day, the founder of the full-time job that I work, he was asking for my 3D portfolio, and I was wondering, I don't have a lot of 3D work to show. But then again, the points that I mentioned, like the full-time job and dad's work, it's not because 3D, making content for 3D, it just requires me to give in a lot of time to it. And that time is something that I'm not being able to give right now. It won't stay like this forever. I mean, even before I get the machine learning software, dad's work is gonna come to a pretty comfortable situation where I do have like 2 or 3 days off in the week where I can just do 3D. But that won't happen for the next 2 months at least. You remember that video I had made? I think it's called a wake up call, where I had gotten a call from the head higher management person from Star Plus, and she's like, why aren't you uploading the music sheets? I had told that time that probably a couple of months, but I think it's been 3 or 4 months since that video. It will continue for more 1 month or at least 2 months before things should come to a good level. Anyway, the point I wanted to make is apna time aayega. That point will come, that time will come where I'll be creating these 3D reels and animations that I have running in my head, and then we'll be getting recognition and viral videos like people do. Now I feel is just not the time. Now is the time to figure machine learning software and these things out so that we can keep ordering Kindles and make investments like 12,000-13,000 without having to worry about money. That's where life is right now. I think it sums up this video pretty much. We're just under 15 minutes and I'm not going to take a lot longer because I want to also edit this video and upload it right away. Otherwise there is no way this is getting done, because 10:30 the barrage of full-time job is going to start and Prathamesh, one of my teammates, is on leave, so I'll probably have to figure out his work as well. I wanted to do a session where I would go about watching my 10th January videos from the past years, which I would do every single year. I would do a documentation session like this, but I did not get the time for that, and probably at some point we'll do it. Thanks so much for being in the Khud. I will catch you next week. Peace.